The following is a paid program that is paid for by AARP of Michigan.
Everyone's talking about homes. They're buying one, selling one, staying in one. You don't want to miss this episode. We're going to talk about the 100 Home Project in Jackson, Michigan. We hear a lot about housing today, downsizing housing, trying to find housing, affordable housing. Everyone thinks it's really complicated, but thanks to Jackson, Michigan, there's a solution to affordable housing. Thank you so much, Shane and Corey, for being with us today. I have heard about the work that Jackson was doing with affordable housing, the 100 Homes Project, from one of our executive council members, Tim Booth, who works with the Jackson Chamber of Commerce. And I was so impressed. I have been so impressed with the work, the partnership, the way that you were able to get those homes up and running and have people living in them. So we're thrilled that you're on the show. We want to have you on the show to talk about how, and every other community out there, everyone else who's listening, take notes, because these folks have done it right. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
So first, tell us about the 100 Homes Project, what it is and how it got started.
The 100 Homes Project is a down payment assistance new home program in which the city of Jackson provides $25,000 free for down payment assistance on an extremely affordable home, a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,250 square foot model. That's for the 2-story. There's also a ranch model that's 983 square foot. But the best part is the price, $178,000.
Wow. Wow, and actually the city is providing the $25,000 down payment that's needed for that home.
It is.
Wow.
The city provides that. Somebody has to income qualify, but
Right.
a single person can make up to $70,000 a year. And this isn't restricted to younger, kind of the middle age, or older. Everyone has the opportunity.
Don't you just love that, people? I mean, that's how it should work. And so I'm excited, and I know about the program, but I'm still excited. I'm still excited about that. So where did the homes come from? How did you find 100 homes?
Well, we had been gifted from the federal government AARP dollars.
Yes.
American Rescue Plan. $21,000 Jackson received, or 21 million, I'm sorry, 21 million Jackson received. Well, I thought of a program that had to be catchy, and that was the 100 Homes program.
Fantastic.
Now, when Corey and I spoke, we went back and forth about 89 homes or 91 homes, and I said it has to be 100 homes. So we needed $2.5 million of those ARPA dollars to provide the $25,000 down payment assistance.
That's awesome.
One of the other things I love about this that is so much different than other communities, you can pick one of any of the lots in our community to make your home, to have that brand new home placed on that.
I love that. And where did you find the space, the land? Was there land available?
The city of Jackson, about 10 years ago, engaged in a very robust demolition program to remove blight from our community. There was a lot of bad houses, houses that aged out. They were just old. It'd take more to upkeep them or rehab them than it would be to just demolish them. So those were demolished, which created a beautiful canvas for a new home. I say we tore down houses that were built in 1926, and we're building new homes in 2025 and 2026.
Wow. Wow, that's fantastic. So how do people apply for it? I would imagine you had tons of applications for these homes. What's the process?
So we have, and we want to keep it easy.
Yeah,
we know
I like easy.
Well, and so do we. We know that in a lot of cases, maybe someone who's coming to the market for the first time, this is their first home, there's maybe a reason why. Maybe they've had a negative experience. Maybe they've had a bad experience with a bank, or it's been difficult. I think anybody who's been through the mortgage process knows that you've got to submit a lot of paperwork. It's a long process. So we want to make it easy for people. We want to remove those barriers to participation. That means that we need to give it a lot of personal attention. And that's not something that city governments are often good at. But in Jackson, we've really tried to flip that model. So we've got dedicated staff, myself, a gentleman in our office named Chris. We make sure that we take people through the process. We walk them through start to finish. That means that if they need help with paperwork, we're not just going to say, hop online and do it. We're going to go to their house. Maybe we'll take them a cup of coffee and a laptop. We're going to sit down in their living room.
Wow.
We're going to do it with them. We
Wow.
want to make sure that it's easy for people.
Wow.
We want to make sure that whatever documents a mortgage company asks you in an application process, because there's a lot of them,
Yes.
we're going to ask you for the same ones. So you're building your packet for us. You're building that organization of documents in advance. So when you get to the bank part of it, you're already done.
That's fantastic.
It's an easy process.
So-
and then from there, we get to help people pick their lot, pick their design, and
That's the fun part.
it's the best part, right? And we get to shepherd them through that process, and just kind of guide them every step of the way, so that it's easy, so that it's stress-free, and then when they get to the finish line, here are the keys to your brand new home.
What's the criteria?
I'll let Corey answer that. He's very good at this question.
So this is an income-based program, right? These income levels aren't set by the city, they're set by the federal government. Many grant programs operate on what's known as the Area Median Income, or AMI. It's a number that comes out of HUD every year. It's updated based on a variety of income and inflation factors nationwide. So we have a chart, it sets the income threshold, and people have to earn under that income threshold based on the number of people that live in your household, right? So the flip side of that is, you still have to be able to afford the home.
Right.
As much as I would love it to be a free home,
You're not Oprah.
I can't. You get home. I wish I could do that. So we have to look at those income criteria and make sure that someone is under the federal guidelines, but that they're also earning enough money so that they're not put in a bad position down the road. Most government sources and lenders would tell you that they don't want a household to spend more than 30%
Of their
of
income.
their monthly gross on housing expenses. So we've taken those numbers and we really try to make sure folks that apply in the program understand that. We don't want someone to get in a house, maybe be there for a year or two, and then be cost burdened.
Right.
That, as much as we would love to get every family in a house in that instance,
Right.
that would be a fail for us, because we
Absolutely.
would have set that family up for a fail. So we try really hard to make sure that through that process, they're getting some financial coaching, they're taking some home buyer education, so that they are ready to be a
Nice.
homeowner for the long run.
Nice. What about credit score?
So banks normally like a credit score of at least 600. The higher credit score you go, the more favorable interest rate you can get. And so that's the threshold that we set as well. I think the other side of that is, we know that not everybody's going to be ready. Maybe people have had some life issues, challenges, whatever it may be. Everybody goes through them. We're not going to judge, we're going to help. And so we're going to set you up with some financial coaching, some credit counseling through some of our local nonprofits and banking agencies, all free. You can go through those steps, you can get ready to go. We've had 6 or 8 families now where they'll come into the program, they're not quite credit ready. We send them along that path and they come back to us a little while later, and now those families are in a home.
Wow.
So not only have we
How lovely.
gotten a home for a family, we've also helped them rebuild their credit and their
Absolutely.
financial security
Absolutely.
at the same time.
So they actually go to the lot and pick out the lot?
That is
Select a
true.
lot?
Can you believe that?
No.
We've seen a lot of programs that just designate one
Right.
area in their community.
Right.
And they focus on that. But this is about enjoyment of home ownership. This is about the excitement of having your home built for you
Yes.
by a builder. It's your brand new home.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you get to pick out the lot. Can you imagine you whoever your significant other is or your family, you get in the car and you drive around with Corey
And you're
you
looking.
look at lots and you say, this is where I want to be.
Yes. Yeah, that's lovely.
And it's great, especially for people who maybe they want to age in place. And aging in place, I don't mean the same home that's very expensive to heat,
Right.
very expensive to maintain.
Right.
But they could pick a neighborhood what suits their lifestyle at this point. It could be closer to downtown or closer to a park, closer to recreation. And if you have a lot close to where they want to be,
That's what they
can select that lot.
And then they can build their home on that lot. There's probably not any greater sense of pride and joy when someone goes through that process and are able to do that. What about older adults? A lot of times we're hearing at AARP that older adults want to downsize and they want to leave their big, or maybe they can't climb the stairs anymore and they want to downsize their home. Or are they eligible for this as well, or is it just new home buyers?
I can answer that. It's
Okay.
not a new home buyer. It's not a first-time home buyer program.
Anybody.
Someone could, who is maybe older, and maybe they own their house outright, and they decide they want to sell that. Maybe they sell that house and they have enough to cover the full cost of the 100 homes. Maybe they can cover that. They have enough equity in it that they could cover the full cost. They could still get the $25,000 from us.
Really?
They could sell their house that they currently have, and get into this program.
Oh, that's awesome.
Can you imagine that?
Why can't every community do that?
I think it's creativity. I think it's layered creativity. We do some layered stuff here. We have to work exceptionally well internally with departments, so we're not siloed. We have to have amazing partners like our financial institutions who financial institutions are the key role. Money
Right.
kind of makes the
Right.
world go round. So our financial institutions, we met with early and often and got a commitment from them. Many of them provide incentives also, other than just our $25,000 down. They provide their own incentives.
Such as?
Well, such as say $500 down on closing costs.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
That's an
Yeah,
example.
whatever they can do to help lower those costs and lower those monthly payments. Who are you? How many applications? Who are you finding is taking advantage of this? Is it the younger folks, middle age, older, everybody? Who's taking advantage of?
We'll have Corey answer that one.
Okay.
So it runs the gamut. Right now, we've received over 1,700 applications
Oh my
in a year and a
goodness.
half.
Oh,
That's a
my
huge
goodness.
number,
And you've
right?
got 100 homes.
We do.
You got to find some more money.
Well, that sounds
Anybody
great.
want to donate to the 100 homes in Jackson? Call.
Truly.
Call Corey or Shane.
Truly.
We'd love to have it. Everything is welcome. But I think that big number speaks to the reality of
Yes.
the home buying experience, right?
Yes.
Lots of people apply and they're not ready. It's a difficult and a long process. We don't kick very many people out of that number. We keep them in. We help them. We remove that barrier. We walk them through the process. We give them time to bring in documents, time to get their credit score up, time to determine, hey, is this a program for me? Time to pick their lot, whatever they need. It's a very warm and welcoming, not adversarial experience. And so that's why that first number is so large.
Right. That's and that's revealing as well in terms of the need for people to find affordable housing, the need for folks to want to be able, shelter, food. Those are some of the basic Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And
Yes.
so, not only in Jackson, Michigan, but in Grand Rapids and Detroit, Flint, wherever you are, that AARP hears over and over again, finding affordable housing for young people to be able to find a house, and older adults who want to downsize. It's one of the top 2 or 3 things we frequently hear that people are concerned about is housing. And you found a way to make that accessible to people. The 1,700, and I love what you're saying, Corey, that you don't kick them out. They stay in the system until something happens. But you've got to find some more homes. So what's the next step? What are you going to do? Those 100 homes, are they all full now?
Well, they're not. We have 47 more opportunities.
Okay.
Corey did discuss the number of applicants we have,
Yeah.
but like some people, like he said, are just not ready.
Ready, right.
But we do have other things going on. We call this program, one program, 100 Homes Program, but we have many other developments that are occurring in the city
Oh,
of Jackson that pair well with us, creating a neighborhood and bringing it back. So if someone were to pick maybe an area of town which has more density of vacant lots, right? We're working on filling those lots so somebody could find a neighborhood, quite a few vacant lots now, but they envision what the neighborhood could look like in the future. We're working on with other programs to fill those.
Nice.
But if we can digress back to the older, this is perfect for older people.
Yes. I'm moving.
You should. You should. Get into a lot. Our average lot's about 44 foot wide by about 90 to
Perfect.
120 deep.
My husband would love it.
Not a lot of maintenance. Your energy bill is going to go way down because
Yes.
every home has to follow the new energy efficiency codes.
Nice. Nice.
So it's perfect option.
And when you think about the partnerships, the collaboration that you had to have, that you're working with the construction, the builders as well, and so do you have the same builders who are building all these homes, are committed to building the homes for you, or how does that process work? And that's for communities out there who are looking at replicating this model. Talk a little bit about the process. When you had this idea, because you had ARPA funds or ARP funds, you had this idea, who did you sit down and talk with, and what did they bring to the table?
Builders. One of the first steps was actually sitting down with builders and saying, what do you need from us to make us serve you better as a builder? A lot of them it was customer service. So switching gears on how we thought as government to we're here to serve the builder. That was huge. In building, time is money, especially in Michigan.
Right.
You've got a window to build. So making sure that our service was so great that it would keep them on their timelines. That was huge. The other thing was the property that we're putting out to them for accessibility to. It's $300 for a lot. $300.
Wow. Wow.
If they go somewhere else, they're going to pay thousands, and that helps cut down the margin. One of the biggest discussions we had with them is, what can we do to help you with your margin? Builders will build anywhere if they can make the margin of profit.
Right. And so that was one collaboration or partnership, talking to the builders to find out what they needed and what they wanted. And then the financial institutions had to come to the table and say that they will have a special program for these individuals, or how did that work?
It was. Most, we'll say suppliers, financial institutions, anybody involved in a home looked at this like it's a program. It's a 100 homes program. They wanted to be part of something that had the potential of success, get on a team that's a winning team. So they crafted programs internally just for the 100 homes program.
Oh, that's great.
So much of it is marketing.
Right, and you're probably not losing very many people, in terms of just residents of Jackson, because they can stay and age in place, which is what we love and what people want to do.
And it opens that house that they may be living in to a new family. Imagine that. If you expect to age in place in your community, maybe not your house, but now you can open that house up to now a family who needs just more room, they need something bigger, and you get to go into something more appropriate size.
A little controversial question. If I had owned a home, sold my home, made enough money off of my home to be able to buy one of these 100 homes, and I'm still getting the $25,000, and then there's a person over here who is trying to find their home, their first home, or and can't afford it. Did you get any kind of conflict like that?
We kind of pushed back on that a little bit. We had that, but in a different, if you compare it to something else, if you and I work at the same place for many years together, make the same wage, and I'm not good with my money.
Yeah.
Okay, and I spend it on things that weren't things to benefit my future. But you did. Okay. If you applied for the program, you might get turned down because your asset test would be too high, but I would benefit.
Nice, very nice. And when people apply, how long before they know whether or not they have been accepted into the program?
So we try to move really, really quickly. We don't want people to have to wait. Government is notoriously slow. Processes take time. There's red tape. There's bureaucracy. We don't like that. We don't want to operate that way in Jackson. We had an applicant apply and receive confirmation of approval in 2 hours and 55 minutes. That's our record.
2 hours?
2 hours and 55 minutes. He was prepared. He followed all the directions. He gave us a call. We walked him through the process. Now, we've got other people that might take a few days or a few weeks. Our job is to review paperwork and follow up with people and meet with people as soon as they hit that submit button on the application.
That's fantastic.
I don't want someone to have to wait and say, oh, I submitted a week ago, you didn't call me. If that happens, we didn't do our job. We should never be the reason in government why something moves slowly. We should want and be able to facilitate those processes.
That's great. Is it a one family, only one family can live in the home at a time, or can you have like mother, grandmother? Does it matter how you identify the family? Is it multi-generational?
You can have a blended family or a multi-generational family. You can fill that space however you like. It needs to be an owner-occupied home. We want to make sure that these are owner-occupied properties, and they have to stay that way for a 5-year period in that neighborhood. The other really awesome part is you keep that home for 5 years, and the first day after that 5 years is up, you could sell that house, and all of the down payment that the city of Jackson gave you, it's yours. It's your generational wealth. I don't know anywhere else where you can use that and build generational wealth for families.
Absolutely love this. So why do you have 47 homes left?
Well, on the generational wealth part, which Corey didn't mention about, was these houses retail for far more than what I said that we're having them built for, the 178. They're over 200. So someone who really gets into this program,
equity in there.
They have almost, with our $25,000 down, $50,000 in equity the day they turn the key. Where else are you going to have that?
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that amazing?
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. So you've been all over the state talking about that. Do you know any other communities that are looking at replicating what you're doing? Well, the AARP dollars are gone now, but there are other dollars that might be available. Do you know anyone else that's looking at replicating what you're doing?
We, on a weekly basis, are doing presentations.
But not nearly as great as this one.
And we haven't seen anybody replicate it yet. And I think some of that is internally. We didn't talk about yet the internal relationships. how many people it really takes internally at the city to make this
Yeah.
happen. We have to have our assessing department involved, our legal department involved, our
Yeah,
Department of
the
Public
human
Works.
resource piece.
There's so many other moving pieces internally that the customer who's getting this new home never sees, and the
Yeah.
public doesn't see.
Yeah.
So that's probably the piece that is stopping from most communities. We do have a chapter 2 that we're working on. We have another plan.
Yeah.
It won't be called the 100 Homes.
Well, we'll have to have you back to talk about that. Thank you so much, Shane. Thank you, Corey, for being here today, for what you're doing. And thanks to the City of Jackson for just being an example for the entire country in terms of how to make certain residents can age in place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tracy Anderson with Impart Alliance. Today I'm joined by Bethany Deiser, who oversees the training program at Impart Alliance and also serves as our Associate Director. Bethany, could you tell us a little bit about the training program opportunities within Impart Alliance?
Sure. We have a free training program for direct care workers. Any direct care worker in Michigan is eligible to participate, or any future potential direct care worker. So if this is a career you're considering, one that you're newly starting out in, or one that you've been doing for a while and want to learn more about, we have training options that will suit your needs.
Tell me a little bit about what people will experience in the training program.
So our training program is virtual hybrid. So some of our classes are delivered through an online classroom platform like Zoom. And some of our classes are in person and include hands-on skills performance. All of our trainings are done live. So they're led by an instructor who knows this material, who has experience working as a direct care worker, and knows how to deliver our standardized competency-based curriculum to direct care worker students. So it's a fun classroom type style, and there's something for everyone.
Tell me why this is important.
Because direct care work is an important healthcare job. I've been a nurse my whole career, and one of my most formative experiences was going to nursing school as a young lady. And I think everyone working in healthcare really requires that competency-based, expert-led education in the theory and the skills of doing your job correctly.
Great. Thank you so much, Bethany.
Of course.
Caregiving is an issue that impacts so many people throughout the state of Michigan, and it's a financial burden for a lot of them. Jason, what is the Credit for Caring, or Michigan Credit for Caring Act, and how does it help caregivers?
Thank you, Paula. The Credit for Caring Act is a proposal that AARP is pursuing in Congress, as well as in state legislatures across the country, including in Michigan. It would be a tax credit for caregivers to be able to apply for those out-of-pocket costs that they incur while caring for a loved one throughout the year. We know from AARP research that unpaid family caregivers incur more than $7,000 of out-of-pocket costs while providing that care. And we know from AARP research that caregiving is widespread. In Michigan alone, caregivers are estimated to provide 1.1 billion hours of care to loved ones throughout the year, representing a financial cost of $19 billion.
And they actually save the state money.
Yes, without unpaid family caregivers, the long-term care system would not be able to function. Caregivers are an invisible workforce holding up the long-term care system, but they are also a critical part of it because most older adults want to remain in their homes, and they have better health outcomes when they do so.
And heaven bless the caregivers, because without them, people might not have the options that they're financially burdensome for people to go to long-term care institutions. So we want to do everything we can for caregivers.
Yes, we do.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you being here and all that AARP does for caregivers in Michigan. Implants. It's something you may not have thought about. Are you a candidate for implants? Are you interested in implants? Dr. Winter, you were the inventor of implants. So tell us about the longevity of them and who's a good candidate for implants.
Yes. Pretty much everyone is a candidate for implants.
Great. I've got
And
this
so-
tooth right back here.
I know, which has been a very nice thing, is that very few people are not able to undergo an implant procedure. There are a few medical conditions that we have to watch out for. What we found is that we've coined a phrase called osseointegration, and that is when an implant actually grows into the bone. It became a whole scientific phenomenon when implants were discovered, and that apparently seems to be something that lasts a lifetime. So it is very similar to when you have a hip replacement, a knee replacement. It's the same in the mouth, and it basically will last your life. It can't decay, and the bone likes to grow around it. So it's a very permanent restoration for the person. We do have, of course, things that we do have to look out for with individuals. We have concern with people who have diabetes or are smokers, things like that, which is kind of the same thing for anyone who's considering any kind of surgical procedure, because it affects recovery and healing. So those things are carefully monitored. But the success rate of dental implants is well over 90%, really approaching 95, 97%. So it is our most successful procedure that we have in dentistry.
Well, thank you for even researching that and making that available to people. 33, 40 years of work in that area.
Well, thank you.
That's incredible. It's phenomenal. Thank you so much. Today we have Dr. Michael Schaefer with us. Dr. Schaefer, you are well known throughout the country regarding your work with memory care and dementia. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this work.
My background is in neuropsychology. It's the study of brain behavior relationships, which truly fascinate me. Why does a brain that's missing a part have the capacity to do certain things? So that's very interesting to me. And then the application of that, thinking about older patients, thinking about the diseases, memory conditions as an example. And that's really what led me into my work in community and thinking about developing a foundation that specifically tried to provide assistance for caregivers, knowing that there's a great deal of support for individuals who have Alzheimer's disease, whether that's through medication development, other national institutes. But my focus really of late has really been, how do you give back to your community? How do you help people? And so developing a foundation that aims to do that, to provide support for the caregiver, has really been of interest to me lately.
And what has surprised you about that work?
What surprises me about that, particularly thinking maybe let's say over the last decade, is how much emphasis and burden is placed on the family members, how much they have to give now.
And if we didn't have those family members, there's 1.7 million unpaid family caregivers in the state of Michigan. That really helps to release the burden for Michigan in the finance.
It's its own crisis for sure.
Yeah, we need more of them. To be continued. There's so much more that you can share with us. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing, for the work that you do and that you've done throughout the years here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for watching Real Possibilities. You didn't think you could own a home and all this other great information that you've heard today? Just keep watching Real Possibilities and learn exactly what's going on, and be sure to share this information with others. Thank you.